Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back from the ad break. You're still watching Prime Life. Now, we are welcoming Shahida Kazie, who is the director at SANCA Nishtara Alcohol and Drug Center. She's going to be discussing an inspiring event, the SANCA Nishtara Recovery Awards. Now, also for over 3 decades, SANCA Nishtara has been a leading provider of both prevention and treatment services for alcohol drug dependence in South Africa. Now, today we also have the opportunity to learn more about the Nishtara Recovery and Wellness Center and its holistic approach, to rehabilitation and the powerful work being done in Lenasia and beyond. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah so much for joining us, Shahida, and welcome to Prime Live.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I think it's really, I'm really humbled, and we do appreciate you giving us this opportunity to share some insight into substance abuse.
Jazakallah so much, Sister Shahida. We'll just jump straight into the interview and, get it started. We know that the Nishtara Recovery and Wellness Center takes a holistic approach to rehabilitation, incorporating individuals, family, and group therapy along with, community outreach programs. Can you maybe share with us more about the center's unique approach and the ways it addresses the needs of, chemically dependent individuals and their families?
Okay, firstly, we do not consider these chemically dependent individuals as numbers. At Nishtara, we believe very strongly in impact. And to have impact, a holistic approach is required, which involves the individual, the affected individual, and the loved ones, that is, the family and the support structures. Our program basically starts off with a multidisciplinary approach. We do an intense assessment which covers psychosocial and medical aspects. Our treatment team, of course, is made up of medical, therapeutic, and psychiatric professionals. And our support staff are all qualified and experienced in this field of addiction. Whilst the individual is, and when I say holistic, what we do is whilst the individual is in the program receiving treatment, we work simultaneously with the families and their loved ones who make up the support structure. So once a person is admitted, these families simultaneously are empowered and educated to walk along this journey of a long-term developmental process to recovery with their loved ones.
That is very impressive. Now, the Nishtara Recovery Awards also took place this weekend, which is such a beautiful initiative, to honor those who have been, who were successful in overcoming their struggles with substance abuse. How do these awards celebrate the journey of recovery?
Okay, so recovery, if I may say, is not successfully overcome.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ongoing process. It's a forever journey. Once in recovery, you remain in recovery. One may ask, why should they be awarded? The awards are not for being sober. We run a very strict aftercare program. One is to be really committed to behavior change, to comply with the rules and regulations of our aftercare program. And the awards that we give are for this commitment to their recovery. So it's basically not something that we have to do, but we found that it serves as good motivation for those who are still in early recovery or just starting out. It's a good inspirational tool and really enhances their self confidence.
Most definitely, and not just for them. Can you tell us more about how this event also, has the potential of inspiring, those who are still fighting the addiction?
Well, it serves to give hope that they too can achieve and progress and to be acknowledged instead of, like in most cases, always being berated. So to people, we try to invite people, when they come with their loved ones, we try to include people who are still battling but don't have the courage to take up recovery. And then when they look at these people on stage, it really gives them a lot of motivation, and it's inspirational too, that they can also do it. And for those that are doing it, it's basically like positive reinforcement instead of the tough love approach only.
Mm. And I want us to talk about, the guest speakers that you had at this year's event. How did they also inspire attendees and add, meaningfulness of the entire journey and also the event itself?
Um, our guest speakers, I think, basically were our beneficiaries, because how they presented themselves through their stories, their shares. There was a poetry item and their own real life drama. We actually, the beneficiaries actually put together a short drama which depicted an everyday story that's in most homes. And I think these guest speakers, I think, did this. What they did was enough to inspire and add meaningfulness, but it aimed also to break down um, the barriers of the stigma that still prevails within, I think, all communities, and also to change people's perceptions of addicts and who they really are.
And can you please tell us more about, the specific programs and services that are offered at the Nishtara Recovery and Wellness Center, and, how they support individuals on their journey to sobriety? Because, I mean, this could be inspiring for someone that's watching right now, someone that's living with someone that has an addiction, to know what sets it apart from other rehabilitation centers.
Okay, I think like most rehabilitation centers, we do run various programs. With Nishtara, basically to outline our programs, we run an inpatient program, we run an outpatient program in Lenasia and in Orange Farm. We have an outpatient clinic there in Orange Farm that's been established since 2011. We run a very strong family support group every Saturday. And then, of course, the most integral part of our treatment program is the aftercare. Our aftercare program basically um, is really a very important component of our recovery treatment program. So the aftercare program is compulsory attendance for a minimum of 1 year, but it's available throughout forever. That becomes part of your lifetime maintenance programs. That is your aftercare. And then we have various outreach programs which are carried out daily in schools. We have a team of 35 volunteers, um, both in Orange Farm and Lenasia, 35, and then another 10 more, 12 more added to them. So almost 40 volunteers, 50 volunteers that go out on a daily basis to schools where we do lots of awareness and prevention programs. We do education, we do life skill programs. We have a very popular program called the Kimoja one that is aimed at adolescents, and it actually says Kimoja, I'm fine without drugs. These are life skills programs that we run on a modular basis in schools, and then our awareness and prevention teams run a lot of programs in health institutions, other other educational institutions, and so forth, and in community campaigns. We also have what we call especially designed for learners, is called a teenage development program, which is fed through the local schools where we find youngsters dabbling already in drugs or nicotine and vaping and so forth, and maybe just starting to experiment. So we run a program for them every Friday afternoon, where we do development, life skills programs, and very lots of education and insight into substance abuse. And that this is going very well and is quite popular amongst the schools that's in our surrounding communities and in Indonesia and Orange Farm. And then we also have a wellness program that is run basically for families. If mothers, well, in addition to the family support that we do, if there are people that are still just not coping and need individualized attention, we run a wellness program for them where they still go to the family groups, but then we do some sessions with them separately, just on an individual basis to empower them furthermore. And then we have all the ongoing awareness campaigns. The most recent one that we did was a dialogue on vaping, and that was quite successful as well.
Mashallah, this is such great
So yeah,
work that
those
you're
are
doing.
basically the programs we run.
Mashallah, they sound very, very good. And we know that, let's talk about the connection between substance abuse and mental health. We know that they can go hand in hand. Can you talk about the relationship between drug abuse and mental health, and how, Nishtara addresses these issues?
Um, okay, well, I think firstly we must agree that addiction is a disease of the mind. So definitely, if one uses substances, there is a lot of mental alterations that occur. because substances affect the normal function of the brain chemistry and leads to conditions such as anxiety, depression, panic disorders, and then most commonly it's borderline personality disorders. This is which sometimes is a natural condition that's already there but worsens when one starts using substances. It's also sometimes the mental condition was there and then got aggravated, or it led to using substances as a means of coping, or in other cases, it's either the use of substances created the mental disorder. It's it's almost like the chicken and egg story, which came first. That one can compare it to that. I think fortunately at Nishtara, we are blessed to have a team of medical and psychiatric specialists who understand substance abuse and mental health. And as mentioned earlier, when we do our assessments are conducted to carefully monitor and observe for any complications that may arise from substance use, withdrawal, and through, we also use a questionnaire which allows us to pick up any underlying mental health conditions. This helps to then refer them for further investigation or specialized management. And what we do here with this is also we include families in this process as well. So they're all on the same page when it comes to understanding mental health. And sometimes families tend to think that, having an addiction is much better than having someone saying their loved one is mentally challenged or mad. So the process that we use has proven to be quite fruitful, and it assists us a lot to provide quality patient care.
Mm. And as we draw our conversation to a close, firstly, we also want to thank you just for sharing insights and educating us about, the Nishtara Center and the beautiful work that it's actually doing for those who are struggling with substance abuse. But can you leave us with, some final words of encouragement and advice for those who may be struggling with addiction, or for anyone who might know someone that's struggling with addiction?
Okay, for everybody out there, I'd say let's understand first that addiction is not something that we have to shy away from. Addiction is it's a disease. Addiction prevails in our communities. It prevails in almost every home, and let's break the stigma that let's stop hiding it anymore. And what I'm saying is that we are here to help. There are so many resources available. Come forward, don't be shy, and talk up. Parents are affected. There's so many families being affected. Just come forward, have the courage, and let's break the barriers, and just know that, be hopeful that there is help. And as Nishtara, talking like many other years, that I think that specifically with Nishtara Recovery and Wellness Center, we do not judge anybody. We open our arms. We welcome to assist. You come in, we will help you. We will do our best to help you. And I think ultimately what we do try to promote is that we will teach you to love yourself and start taking care of yourself. So let's not shy away from the fact that addiction is something that's so horrifying that we have to hide it away.
Mm.
We are to help.
I mean, jazakallah so much, Shahida Kazi, for your insightful conversation, but also for just educating us and teaching us about the Nishtara Recovery Center and all the beautiful work that it's doing, and the importance of paying attention also to the causes of substance abuse, and just the great work behind the center itself.
And Jazakallah to you for giving us the opportunity. And we look forward to maybe having further interaction and sharing more insight and running some educational programs.
In,
Thank you so much.
inshallah, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Viewers at home, that was Shahida Kazi, who is the director at SANCA Nishtara Alcohol and Drug Center, and we were just discussing an inspiring event that took place over the weekend, but most importantly, also just discussing substance abuse, how it ties in with mental health, and all the necessary steps and procedures that they take at the center to make sure that they give out holistic recovery to those who are struggling with substance abuse. But on that note, viewers at home, let's head over to a quick break. We'll see you after this.